Hello and welcome to this presentation about SOTLAS. My name is Manuel HB9DQM. I'm the creator of SOTLAS and I will show you what it is about. SOTLAS is a web-based worldwide atlas with mapping and information that is useful for summits on the air, activators and chasers. It consists of a map based on OpenStreetMap and it aggregates information about summits from various sources such as the SOTA database, SOTA maps and its GPS tracks, and Wikipedia. Aside from viewing a map and summit information, you can also view and post SOTA watch spots and alerts. You can view statistics about activators and their activations. You can view and upload photos, and you can also draw on the map. SOTLAS is a modern, responsive website, which means it works well on smartphones and tablets, as well as on regular desktop computers. How do you get to SOTLAS? That's very easy. You just open your browser on your computer, smartphone or tablet and type sotl.as. So very easy to remember. This is what you will see when you go to SOTLAS. Each of these little dots is a valid SOTA summit in the database. As you can see, SOTA has become a worldwide affair, but there are still a lot of white spots. You can zoom in seamlessly on this map, as we can see here, and this is made possible by the use of modern vector map technology in SOTLAS. Here we are looking at a view of Switzerland and the neighboring countries. Each summit in the SOTA database is shown as a circle with the colors indicating the number of points that this summit gives you. On the left-hand side of the map there is this options drawer that you can use to customize the map view depending on your preferences. So you can show and hide individual map elements such as the contour lines or the hill shading, or you can even view hiking difficulty information, which may not be available worldwide depending on the country and the OpenStreetMap data available for that country. There are some more options, like for example showing the webcams from a public database of webcams right on the map. Another option on the left-hand side is the filter, which you can use to filter the summits that are shown on the map. You can filter by various criteria. For example, you can find a summit that has never been activated before, or you can find summits that are above or below a certain altitude. Or you can find summits that you have never activated before yourself. There is also an option to find complete candidates, meaning summits that you have chased but not yet activated. This only works if you are logged in. So how do you log in? There is this button in the top right corner. Logging in works just the same as for other SOTA sites like SOTA Watch or the SOTA database. It's the same login, so you don't need to create a new account for SOTLAS. SOTLAS uses the SOTA single sign-on system. Logging in enables you to edit and post spots and alerts. You can show information about your own chases and activations on summit pages. You can show the whole or entire QSO list for any activation, and you can upload photos to a summit page. On the right-hand side of the map, you will find tools to draw on the map. You can draw lines and markers on the map. If you draw a line or a track, you will also see an elevation profile of this particular track. You can download any tracks that you draw as a GPX file, and you can also upload GPX files from your computer and visualize them on the map. If we move on to the other options, at the top of the page in the navigation bar we have a button called Summits. This takes you to a list of SOTA associations, and from here you can drill down by clicking one of these associations. You will then see an overview of all the regions in this particular association, as well as an overview map of all the summits inside the association. If you drill down further by clicking a region, you will see a list of all the summits in this region with the usual information such as the altitude, the number of points, and the number of activations so far. And then you can click one of these summits and go directly to the summit details page for that summit, which we'll see later on. You can also download a list of all the summits of a region or an entire association in a format, for example, for your Garmin device or for another map solution. There are 3 formats available: GPX, KML and GeoJSON. Let us switch back to the map for a moment. I would like to show you what happens when you click on one of these circles that show you the summit locations. If you do that, you will see a pop-up with some basic information about this summit and also with a photo from Wikipedia if one is available. You can then click on the blue More button and this will take you right to the summit details page for this summit. This is an example of a summit details page. This is kind of the heart of SOTLAS, which shows you a lot of information about this summit aggregated from various sources. It starts with the basics, the reference, the altitude, points, number of activations and so on. Then you have some technical information about the coordinates, which you can copy or open up in a different map website. You see a list of resources that SOTLAS found on the web, for example, articles and links from the SOTA Summits page, a Wikipedia link if one is available, and depending on the region, there may be more links for this summit. On the right-hand side, you have a mini-map. Here we can see the blue tracks. So those are GPS tracks that SOTLAS found for this summit on sotamaps.org. These are shown here also, as well as some photos that were taken for this summit with geotagging, so we know where these photos were taken and we get the corresponding icons. If we zoom in and we hover on one of those photo icons, we can even see which direction the camera was facing when the photo was taken, which can be very useful for planning your route. You can then click one of these little photo icons and see a preview of the corresponding photo, and if you then click that photo, you will see it in full screen mode. If you scroll down on this page, you will see again the entire list of photos that have been uploaded for this summit. You can click any of these photos and see the full screen preview, of course. And at the bottom of the page, if you're logged in, you can upload new photos by dragging and dropping them on the box at the bottom or by clicking the browse link to choose them from your computer. Make sure if you upload photos to include geolocation information if you can, if your camera or smartphone supports it, because that is very useful to know for other activators where exactly this particular photo was taken. If you scroll further down on the summit details page, you will see some statistics. If you're logged in and you have activated or chased this summit before, this will also be visible here. You can see how many QSOs were made for each band on this summit, how many activations per year and per month. This can be useful to figure out if a summit is more often activated in summer or in winter, for example. Scrolling all the way down on the page will show you the entire list of activations for this summit, and if you are logged in, you can also view the full list of QSOs for each of these activations, including any summit to summits, as in this example. If we move on to the next option in the navigation bar, which is Spots. Spots is a list of SOTAWatch spots that is taken directly from SOTAWatch and is a live feed, so there is no need to refresh the page. Any new spots will appear immediately in this table. You can also sort this table. You can filter it by entering, for example, a summit reference or a name, a call sign or part of it. There are menus that allow you to filter by bands and modes or even continents, and you can turn on an audible alert when a new spot comes in. This page also allows you to post a new spot, which you do with the blue button in the top right corner. You obviously need to be logged in to do that. If you click on the Add button, you will see a new dialog. The call sign will already be filled in, and you only need to fill in the summit reference, the frequency, and the mode, and then you can post your spot. Especially if you're on a summit and using SOTLAS on your smartphone, it can be very useful to click on the Nearby menu. The browser will then ask you for permission to access the location, And if you give permission, you will see a list of the 5 summits that are closest to your current location. So it's very easy to pick the right one and you don't have to look up the reference. Alternatively, you can also enter the reference manually, and when you do that, you don't have to worry about slashes and dashes. You can simply enter the reference with spaces, such as in this example, and it will automatically convert to the right format, and it will show you the name and the altitude of the summit, so you can make sure you got the right reference. There is another tab on the spots page called RBN, and this shows you all the reverse beacon network spots for call signs where an activation is known to be going on at the moment because there has been a spot or an alert on SOTLAS in the recent time. You can also change the view to show all RBN spots for any known activator call sign, no matter if an activation is currently known to be going on. And this can be useful to find activators even before they have spotted on SOTLAS. You can also filter this page as usual by call sign, by bands and by continents. The alert page works very similar to the spots page, just that it refers to SOTLAS alerts and not the spots. As usual, you can filter it and you can create new alerts for your own call sign or somebody else's. This is very similar to creating a spot, only that you have to specify an activation date and the time that you intend to activate this summit. At the bottom, you need to enter the frequencies and modes that you intend to use, and SOTLAS helps you pick the right format for SOTLAS. If you start typing a frequency, a new menu will pop up that will suggest the combinations of frequencies and modes for you to choose. Hidden inside the More menu at the top in the navigation bar, you will find another page that is called Activators, which is simply a list of all the activators that are registered in the SOTA database. By default, it's sorted by score, so the highest scoring activators are listed first, but you can filter this page. For example, you can only show activators from a certain country, and you can sort it by any of the columns. If you click on any of these call signs, you will get sent to the activator details page for this particular activator. Here is an example of such an activator details page. At the top you have some of the basic statistics and achievements of this activator, number of points, number of mountain goats, number of activations, unique summits, number of QSOs, and how many associations this activator has activated and for how long he or she has been active. If there have been any recent SOTA or RBN spots for this call sign, they will also appear right at the top of this page. If you scroll down a bit, you will see some statistics for this activator, such as the number of activations per year or per association, the number of QSOs on average per activation, and you can also see the favorite modes of this activator. If you scroll even further down, you will see the full list of activations that this activator has logged. You can filter and sort it, and you can view the list of QSOs for any of these activations. It's all linked, so if you click on a name or a reference of one of these summits, you will get sent to the details page of this particular summit to find out more about it. So this is a general overview of the features of SOTLAS. It's all relatively easy to find and pretty obvious, but there are some hidden secrets inside SOTLAS that I would like to show you about that may not be obvious at first, but that can be very useful to know. So one very useful function is that you can right-click a map or at any point, and this will open up a little pop-up with the coordinates of that point. It will also show you an approximation of the elevation at that coordinate. And what's very useful here is the Open menu, which will give you the option to jump to other mapping sites at this precise coordinate. Now, OpenStreetMap has pretty good map data in most countries, but it often cannot compete with the official government maps. So the pop-up menu shows you direct links on various other map services that are applicable to the specific area that you are viewing. So the list of map sites that you will see here depends on which part of the world you have clicked on. Another useful feature, as we have seen in the beginning, is that you can show the location of webcams on the map. You do that by selecting the corresponding option in the Map Options drawer on the left-hand side of the map. When you do that, you get these little webcam icons on the map, and if you click one of them, you will see a preview of the current webcam image. And if you click the webcam image, you will get sent to a website called windy.com, which gives you the option to view the history of the images for this particular webcam. Now, this can be very useful, for example, to find out if the summit or the area that you intend to visit is still covered with snow. Another very useful feature of SOTLAS is that you can search for almost anything using the search bar at the top of the page. Here in this example, we have entered a partial summit name, and if you then hit enter on your keyboard, you will see a list of matching summits. You can do the same with call signs of activators, so you can enter a full or a partial call sign and you will be sent to that activator's details page. You can also enter a region, so association/region, and type or press enter, and you will get the list of summits in this particular region. Another relatively advanced feature is that you can enter so-called regular expressions in any of the filter fields that allow you to filter SOTLAS tables, for example, the activation logs or the list of spots. So if you don't know what a regular expression is, don't worry about it. If you're interested, you can look it up. There are tutorials on the web. It's basically a way to specify advanced search criteria, something that is more detailed than just a simple substring. So here in this example, we are looking for summit references that start with HB0 or just HB, or any call sign that starts with HB9. So this can be formulated with a regular expression, which can be very useful for advanced users. Well, that's all about using SOTLAS. Here are some of the technologies that were used in the process of making SOTLAS. There are relatively modern, recent web technologies that allow you to get a good experience on mobile devices and desktops alike. SOTLAS itself is open source, so you can find the source code on GitHub. And of course, pull requests or contributions are very much appreciated. So that's all. If you have any questions or suggestions about SOTLAS, feel free to email me at the address below. Thank you very much for your attention and have a great day.
Hey, ihr seid ja noch da. Hat euch der Beitrag also gefallen? Also wenn euch der Beitrag gefallen hat, dann wäre es schön, wenn ihr ihn liked. Außerdem könnt ihr ihn hier abonnieren und ständig kommen neue Beiträge, die seht ihr hier. Ich wünsche euch weiterhin viel Spaß mit den Beiträgen von Faszination Amateurfunk. Bis dahin, VY73.